Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to General Hospital, teasers on Wednesday, April 30th, Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, will make a terrible discovery about Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, while Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, will surprise Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrose, will also deal with some regrets, so here's what GH viewers should expect next. For starters, Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, will report back to Nina and explain that her decision to recruit Jacinda, Paige Herschel, was brilliance. Drew went wild at the Savoy and was caught on tape taking body shots on Jacinda, so Portia will have more optimistic predictions about their plan. On Wednesday's show, Nina will be delighted she drove Drew and Willow apart, but she will also suffer with regrets. Portia will be there to remind Nina that Drew gave them no choice, but Nina will still be concerned about Willow's impending heartbreak. Willow will return home from her trip to Germany, and a horrible revelation awaits her. Willow appears to discover Drew and Jacinda in a compromising position, just as Nina had intended. Jacinda will make it appear that Drew slept with her, but Drew will be confused about what happened last night due to the ketamine he was given. Willow will be upset and outraged, but Drew should begin to feel he was drugged and set up. Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, will brief Laura Collins, Jeannie Francis, on Drew's activities at the Savoy. Curtis will argue that Drew may have addressed Laura's situation himself, as Drew's actions may reflect negatively on him and his allies. Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, would then request an interview with Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, and they may discuss Alexis' later reunion with Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, as well as the weight of her Cassadine family history. Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, will be concerned about Kai Taylor's, Jens Austin Astrup, decision to go with his risky procedure. Although Trina may remind Kai that he can stop at any time, he may insist on going all in and hoping to play football again someday. Following Carly's journey to Los Angeles, she will tell Jason what almost happened to Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. If Brick, Stephen A. Smith, had arrived 5 seconds later, Sonny would have died. Carly will tell Jason the upsetting news and hear Jack Brennan's, Chris McKenna, idea. So we'll discover if Brennan believes Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, is behind the attacks or someone else. According to General Hospital previews, Carly will hope that the person responsible for these attempts on Sonny's life will be brought to justice. A drug Drew makes a public spectacle of himself, and Lulu hopes it will land her a front-page story. Tuesday, April 28, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Anna quizzes Emma about Dalton. Nina and Portia execute their plan, and Drew makes a bargain with Tracy. Joss walks inside the Savoy and notices Anna at the bar with Dalton. Hank, Professor Dalton, informs Anna that he has transferred to PCU from the Bay Area. Anna asks why he transferred, and he reveals that PCU made him a significant offer for his environmental physics project. He wonders how he ended up in her area of employment. She considers it a long story, one she does not want to discuss on her rare night off. Dalton asks what she wants to talk about. Anna sees Jordan with Curtis and assumes her girls' night has been canceled, so she's going home. Hank asks for her phone number so he can take her out, but she claims the town is small, and they'll run into each other eventually. Anna takes off and Joss swoops in to take her place. Cody comes up with Lulu and apologizes for being late, but he gets booted by a horse. She would not have asked him out if he was hurt, but he is grateful for any excuse to get out, as he does not have a social life. Jordan and Curtis continue their conversation, and Curtis says he will always care about her, and going after Sidwell is a major deal. She informs him that the question is not whether she can or cannot handle Sidwell, but whether Sidwell can handle her. Nina and Portia put Operation Drug Drew in motion. Portia calls Nina from her office. Nina has the ketamine. They simply need to decide when and where to place their trap. When Drew shows up and makes demands, Portia hangs up. He's tired of her failing to deliver, but she thinks it's difficult to change Curtis' opinion about him. Drew has a new idea. He wants her to persuade Curtis to use Aurora to support the vote on Sonny's peers. Drew is unconcerned with her claim that Curtis is friends with Laura. She must get him results, or he will reveal her filthy secret. Nina meets with Jacinda and offers her the ketamine to use on Drew. Jacinda believes ketamine can be deadly, but Nina claims it is pharmacy grade and pure. She wants Drew to enjoy a night that he will never forget, but that everyone in Port Charles will remember. Gio questions Sunny at the Quartermain estate about what he did to make Tracy want to hurt him. Tracy claims Sunny has been a scourge on this family for decades, and she displays Exhibit A as Jason enters. Tracy informs Jason that she was ready to tell Gio about the anguish Sunny has caused this family. Jason inquires as to what provoked this, to which Gio responds that Tracy favors taking Sunny's peers away. Emma encourages Tracy not to do this, and to think of it as a favor in exchange for preserving her family's crypt from Drew. Tracy comes up with an idea after hearing Drew's name. Drew answers the phone at Portia's office when Tracy calls to discuss an issue of common interest that will be crucial to him. He asks her to meet him at the Port Charles Grill. He then urges Portia to ensure that all of Aurora's media channels publish unfavorable reports about Sunny, or else. He then walks out. Portia phones Nina back and informs her that Drew went to meet Tracy at the Port Charles Grill. Nina gives Jacinda instructions to return tomorrow for her final payment, after which she is to leave town and never return. Portia later comes at Nina's, and she and Nina believe their plan will succeed. Nina understands that this will shatter Willow's heart, but the ultimate result will be worthwhile. According to Portia, Drew's reputation will be tarnished after tonight, and he will be removed from both of their lives. Portia learns she needs to meet Curtis at the Savoy and flees. Back at the Savoy, Lulu informs Cody that her adoption story will appear in the Landview banner. Cody considers adoption to be a very personal matter. Curtis informs Jordan at their meal that he knows she was always happiest while underground. Jordan says that her life has been stagnant for the past few years, but stopping that person from killing Isaiah rekindled something within her. Dalton tells Joss in the bar that she is doing well so far, but still has a lot to catch up on. Joss is doing the work and genuinely wants the summer research position. Dalton does not believe it will happen, as someone who has been present all semester deserves this opportunity. Joss wonders if there is anything she can do to increase her odds. He advises her to continue working hard. He doesn't want to discourage her, but he needs to be honest about her odds. He also encourages she do her best on the assignments, as there are lots of other opportunities available. Henry chooses on that note to go. Back at the mansion, Drew and Emma are perplexed that Tracy is working with Drew, whom she despised. Tracy can't risk Sunny injuring anyone else in this family. As she walks out, she tells Jason that she expects him to tell nice stories about Sunny, so don't leave out what he did to AJ. Jason leaves and Emma decides to leave as well. Jason quickly returns to answer Joe's queries. Jason feels Gio should forget what Tracy said about AJ. Gio insists that if he doesn't tell him, he'll find someone who will. Jason explains that Sunny killed his brother. Gio does not believe him. Jason tells that Sunny walked in on AJ attacking Ava and shot him to protect her. He wasn't present, and Sunny and the Quartermains have differing tales of what occurred. He decides to believe Sunny. Jason understands Joe's feelings, and the QS attempted to convert him against Sunny, but he refused. Sunny has always been his friend. He is generous and supportive. Gio feels the same way about his uncle. Jason thinks Gio should make his own decision concerning Sunny. Does he trust his instincts or listen to others? Gio respects Tracy, but he has to put his trust in Sunny. Jason reassures him that Sunny will be fine, and that he has handled more difficult situations before. Tracy's alignment with Drew also indicates that she has already lost. Tracy visits Drew at the Port Charles Grill to discuss their common disdain for Sunny, and forcing him to relocate his illicit organization. She believes that if they put aside their differences and work together to persuade Port Charles to vote against Sunny, they would triumph. Drew isn't cheap and he wants the Quartermain name back. Jacinda walks in, sits at the bar, and overhears a server order a drink for Drew. Jacinda slips the K into his drink before the waiter delivers it to him. Drew returns to their table and asks Tracy whether they have a deal. Tracy argues that after Sunny is gone, he will be able to restore the Quartermain name. She replies that fighting to get rid of Sunny shows that he is worthy of the name, and they shake hands. Tracy exits and Jacinda walks over to take her seat. Drew begins to feel the effects of the drug, and he believes his drink is quite potent. Jacinda introduces herself, and he asks why she wishes to join him. She felt he looked like someone she'd like to meet, and he does too. She labels this place dead, so he knows just where they should go. Marco and Lucas find unexpected company. Lucas and Marco go on a date at Cafe Sherry to celebrate his new job and get to know each other better. Marco assumes he wants to know about his father, which does not make for an interesting subject on a date. Jens enters the room shortly after Lucy. Lucas alerts Marco to his father's presence, and Jens approaches, describing running into his son a pleasant surprise. He introduces Marco and Lucy. Lucy welcomes him to Port Charles, and Jens wishes the gentleman a happy evening. Lucas believes they will now have to discuss their fathers. Lucas tells Marco a short story about his adoptive parents, and later in life he discovers his biological parents. Marco wonders how they reacted to him coming out. Lucas claims his father was well, but his mother took longer to come around. He understands she was initially concerned for him, but she eventually became his greatest defender. Marco considers himself fortunate in that his father embraced him, although his mother did not and continues to refuse. Lucas soon discovers that his mother is Natalia and his sister is Blaze, aka Allison. Marco explains that his parents split when he was young, he had no relationship with his father, and he was very close to his mother. When he came out as a teen, everything changed, and he will never forget the expression on her face. Marco says that's when he turned to his father, who was encouraging and became his rock. Lucas thanks him for discussing this with him. Marco believes he has pulled the mood down, so he recommends they go to a club. Lucas claims he has retired from dancing, but Marco will not accept no for an answer. Across the room, Lucy informs Jens that his son is as charming and gorgeous as he is. Jens is thrilled that his son is now living in the same town as him. Lucy cannot believe Natalia never mentioned her son. She can't picture a mother rejecting her son for being gay, and she's relieved they fired her. Jens concurs, saying it's unfortunate Natalia is depriving herself of a relationship with their son. His main regret is that he did not see his son grow up. Lucy enjoys seeing his softer side, and he acknowledges that he has many sides. Emma and Anna talk about the professor. Emma meets Anna at the restaurant. Emma must do an all-nighter for her environmental physics course. Anna claims she met someone at the Savoy who she might know, Professor Dalton. Emma notices that it is her professor. Anna finds it intriguing that he is from the Bay Area, and that they both transferred to PCU at the same time. Emma claims it's strange but just a coincidence. Anna claims there are no coincidences in her area of work. Does Emma have anything to confess? Emma reveals she purposefully enrolled in Dalton's class, but only because he is well known. She insists it was fate, and she has an opportunity to work as his summer intern. Anna feels proud and hugs her, but her expression is uncertain. Emma appears to be hiding something. Drew digs his grave. Portia comes at the Savoy and discovers Curtis with Jordan. Curtis reveals that he was congratulating Jordan on her new job. Jordan informs Portia about her new job, and Portia wishes her luck, especially since she has to deal with Drew. Marco and Lucas enter, and Lucas experiences flashbacks to his Magic Milo days. Marco guarantees them they will have fun. Joss hurries over and greets Lucas, who introduces her to Marco. Joss says to Lucas, "He's hot." At their meal, Lulu tells Cody that he got lucky because Mac is such a kind man. Cody is aware, and seeing Mac with James serves as a reminder of what he has missed. Lulu appears to be down as he mentions this, and he asks if she is all right, noting that he did not mean to disturb her. Drew then stumbles down the stairs alongside Jacinda, attracting everyone's attention. He raves about Jacinda's good looks. He kisses and clutches her neck as Curtis tells Jordan and Portia that Drew appears to have forgotten he was banned from this spot. Curtis wants to kick him out, but Portia points out that the heavily inebriated Drew is making a mess of himself. Curtis says, "Let him bury himself." Drew orders shots for everyone, and Jordan realizes this will be disastrous for her new position with Sidwell. She's determined to get Drew out of there and away from that woman. Cody informs Lulu that he knew he was correct about that son of a bitch. Lulu claims Drew will land her a front-page article tomorrow. She takes out her phone and starts filming. Drew tells Jacinda that they need to perform a body shot, but Jordan tries to intercede and inform Drew that he's had enough for the night. Drew refuses to leave, claims he is having fun, and then screams, "Body shots!" He pulls Jacinda to the bar, pours alcohol over her tummy, and slurps it down. Portia phones Nina and gives her a very encouraging update, while everyone looks at Drew with hatred. General Hospital spoilers indicate that the show may have dropped a new Shiloh Archer resurrection hint. Is Professor Henry Hank Dalton related to Hank Archer, the name Shiloh used before his Dawn of Day era? Shiloh was born David Henry Archer, but he used the nickname Hank as a form of defiance against his father. Shiloh first appeared on screen as Hank, before the cult drama unfolded. Some GH watchers have already speculated that Drew Kane could be a resurrected Shiloh. That is something to think about, given Drew's dominating demeanor toward Willow Corinthos and recent Dawn of Day allusions. However, another intriguing clue appeared on the April 28th show. During our meeting with Anna Devane, we couldn't help but observe how Professor Dalton presented himself. At the Savoy, Henry Dalton, also known as Hank, introduced himself and offered his hand to Anna. It's fascinating that a new character named Hank has appeared at the same time that Shiloh aka Hank rumors are circulating among fans. Could Professor Dalton's name be a hint as to where his plot is going? It's conceivable that the rumors about Drew being Shiloh are not entirely accurate. What if Hank Dalton is Shiloh, and Drew is under his mental control? We could buy the idea of Shiloh returning from the dead with a new look and accent to deceive everyone. It wouldn't be too difficult with a little plastic surgery or a realistic mask. Hank Archer recreated himself as Shiloh, and he might now reinvent himself as Hank Dalton. Another possibility is that Professor Dalton is a Shiloh follower who chose the name Hank as a tribute to the cult leader's past existence. Shiloh could be alive and orchestrating whatever dark conspiracy Professor Dalton is involved in. In that instance, Drew may still be Shiloh and eventually take over the show. Bottom line, it's quite suspicious that the GH writers called this new character Hank, when Shiloh has previously used the name. There may be a link, so we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. According to General Hospital teasers, Jocelyn Jacks will uncover some stunning findings and pass on some alarming prophecies about Professor Dalton as the tale progresses. General Hospital has painted Drew into a corner this time, and we have a feeling he won't be able to get out of it. In the April 29th episode, Nina's plot to drug her former, and her daughter Willow's current, lover in order to capture images of him in a compromising position worked out even better than she could have imagined. The congressman, high on ketamine, escorted call girl Jacinda to the Savoy, where he openly made out with her and slurped body shots from her belly button. All the while, Lulu captured the debauchery on her cell phone. In theory, Drew's drug-fueled antics should spell his demise. What constituency wants an elected person who parties with a hooker and brags about cheating on his significant other, whom he stole from his nephew? The ick factor is so high that many get nosebleeds. When Willow discovers that her beloved has been painting the town red with another lady, she expects to see the same color. Willow has put everything on the line to commit to Drew. So this is how he repays her trust in him? With Nina whispering in Willow's ear, "You were always too good for him," she's likely to see old Loverboy as trash and dismiss him completely. Willow may double down and believe Drew when he says he has no idea what happened to him after traveling so far to be with him. She may conduct an investigation and uncover her mother's role in the incident. If that happens, Willow and Drew will be inseparable. General Hospital has had its fair share of unexpected twists, dramatic resurrections, and hidden identities. Fans have long speculated about the return of Shiloh Archer, the evil cult leader whose reign of terror left an everlasting mark on Port Charles. Although he was assumed dead, subsequent developments indicate that his story may not be done. The emergence of a mysterious new figure, Hank Dalton, has caused heated debate among viewers. Might this be Shiloh in disguise? The name itself is suspiciously similar to Hank Archer, prompting many to speculate if this is a purposeful hint from the creators. Shiloh's original exit from the canvas was as spectacular as his appearance on the show. After manipulating and exploiting vulnerable people through his Dawn of Day cult, he appeared to die. However, in soap operas, death is rarely permanent. Characters frequently reappear in different identities, and Shiloh's cunning makes him an ideal target for such a twist. The appearance of Hank Dalton at this particular time seems too serendipitous to be ignored. His name has a striking resemblance to Hank Archer, a possible identity Shiloh might have used to avoid detection. The timing of Hank Dalton's arrival adds fuel to the fire. Port Charles is currently enmeshed in a number of high-stakes storylines, many of which feature persons who have been profoundly touched by Shiloh's decisions. Sam McCall, Drew Kane, and Willow Tate all have personal reasons to fear his return. If Hank Dalton is Shiloh, his reemergence might reopen old wounds and spark new battles. The authors have a tendency of returning prior villains in unexpected ways, and Shiloh's probable comeback would fit right in. Another significant piece of evidence is Hank Dalton's actions. Little is known about him, but his interactions have been marked by an unsettling serenity and cunning charm characteristics that typified Shiloh. If he begins targeting individuals associated with Dawn of Day or expresses an extraordinary interest in their lives, the connection will be difficult to ignore. Additionally, the writers enjoy delivering small hints prior to a major reveal. The resemblance between Dalton and Archer may be more than a coincidence. It might be a clue leading to a surprising reveal. However, not everyone is convinced. Some fans believe Hank Dalton could simply be a new enemy with no connection to Shiloh. Soap operas frequently incorporate unscrupulous characters to heighten the tension, and Hank may be one of them. However, given the show's history of resurrecting villains and the unanswered mysteries about Shiloh's fate, the hypothesis bears significant weight. If Hank Dalton turns out to be Shiloh, the consequences will be enormous. One key hint could be Hank's relationships with specific characters. If he expresses a particular interest in Willow or begins manipulating weak people in ways similar of Dawn of Day's methods, the connection will become more difficult to reject. Willow, in particular, has had a painful relationship with Shiloh, and his return would compel her to confront her past in a devastating way. Similarly, Sam and Drew would be lured back into the nightmare from which they believed they had fled. The writers have also been known to play with audience expectations, teasing returns before delivering something completely unexpected. However, the build-up around Hank Dalton seemed deliberate. Whether he is Shiloh or a red herring, his arrival in Port Charles will undoubtedly cause a stir. The intrigue around his genuine identity demonstrates the show's ability to keep viewers guessing. Another perspective to examine is the possibility of a long-term plot. If Hank is Shiloh, his return might be part of a broader storyline that unfolds over several months, gradually revealing his actual motivations. This would allow for intense psychological drama as characters deal with fear, treachery, and the lasting consequences of their previous deeds. Such a tale would have a huge emotional impact, providing actors with plenty of material to work with. On the other hand, if Hank Dalton is a completely new character, his entrance might still be linked to unresolved Dawn of Day narrative. Perhaps he is a former devotee seeking vengeance, or someone from Shiloh's inner circle. The cult's impact was widespread, and its vestiges could still be a menace. Even if Shiloh is no longer alive, his legacy may live on via Hank in Port Charles. Ultimately, only time will tell who Hank Dalton truly is. The writers have expertly created a sense of mystery surrounding him, guaranteeing that fans will be on the lookout for any indications. Whether he is Shiloh Archer disguised or a completely new antagonist, his arrival will undoubtedly disrupt the lives of Port Charles people. Fans are both thrilled and terrified by the idea of Shiloh's resurrection. His character was a superb manipulator, and his reappearance would provide numerous plot opportunities. The psychological strain alone would make for interesting entertainment, as those who fell under his influence are forced to confront their darkest memories. Meanwhile, viewers will surely study every scene involving Hank Dalton, looking for hints that could corroborate or refute the theory. The name Hank Archer may be a cunning hint, or it could simply be a coincidence intended to keep people guessing. In any case, General Hospital has once again demonstrated its capacity to captivate fans with sophisticated plots and unforeseen surprises. As the story progresses, one thing becomes clear. Hank Dalton's arrival heralds the start of a new chapter in Port Charles, one filled with suspense, peril, and the ever-present potential that the past is not as dead as it appears. Whether or not Shiloh returns, the mystery surrounding Hank will keep fans tuned in to see what happens next. The speculation will continue until the truth is known, and in the meantime, General Hospital has skillfully sparked the curiosity that keeps viewers returning for more. Shiloh's possible resurrection is simply one of many options, but it bears enormous weight considering his background. Hank Dalton may hold the key to solving this mystery, or he may be a very different type of menace. Only time will tell. For the time being, fans may enjoy the suspense, discuss the hypotheses, and be ready for the spectacular drama that will undoubtedly follow. General Hospital excels in keeping its audience guessing, and the Hank Dalton mystery is no exception. Whether or not he is Shiloh, his presence serves as a reminder that no one in Port Charles is completely secure from the shadows of the past. The writers are known for constructing complex plots that pay off in unexpected ways, and Hank Dalton's storyline is certainly no exception. If Shiloh returns, it will be a game-changer for the series. If not, Hank's role will surely have significant consequences. Finally, guessing is part of the fun. General Hospital's heritage is built on shocking revelations and the uncovering of long-buried mysteries. The mystery of Hank Dalton's true identity is only the latest puzzle for fans to unravel, and it promises plenty of drama along the road. Until the truth is exposed, viewers will be on the edge of their seats, examining every detail and waiting for the moment when everything makes sense. Whether Hank Dalton is Shiloh Archer or a whole different menace, his impact on Port Charles will be unmistakable. The setting is set for another amazing plot, and fans wouldn't want it any other way. The mystery develops with each episode, and the anticipation grows deeper. The Hank Dalton enigma demonstrates General Hospital's ability to keep its viewers captivated. As the pieces of the story fall into place, one thing becomes clear: nothing in Port Charles is ever as it appears. The world of daytime soap operas is no stranger to dramatic exits, stunning twists, and characters who appear to die, only to return in some unexpected way. General Hospital, one of the longest-running and most beloved soap operas, has perfected the art of keeping viewers on the edge of their seats with sophisticated storytelling and larger-than-life characters. Drew Kane has played an important role among these individuals, weaving in and out of narratives with a mix of heroism, sorrow, and complexity. But now it appears that Drew's time in Port Charles may be coming to an end, or is it? The statement "Drew is doner than done" suggests that his departure is irrevocable, but nothing in General Hospital is ever as simple as it appears. Drew Kane, played by Billy Miller and later by Cameron Matheson, has had a rocky run on the show. Drew has been marked by perseverance and reinvention since his debut as Jason Morgan's twin brother. His storylines have ranged from military duty to corporate intrigue, love relationships, and even legal disputes. Fans have witnessed his growth, struggle, and fight for atonement, making him a fan favorite. However, recent developments hint that Drew's arc may be coming to an end, at least for the time being. The idea that Drew is doner than done implies that his departure is more final than prior ones. In soap operas, characters frequently leave in uncertain circumstances, leaving the door open for potential returns. However, in this situation, the phrase implies a sense of permanency. Could this indicate that Drew's plot has found its logical conclusion? Is this just another ruse to keep fans guessing? Given General Hospital's history of unexpected resurrections and comebacks, it's difficult to accept any exit at face value. Drew's departure might be attributed to the natural progression of the show's narrative. Soap operas frequently shift focus, introducing new characters and phasing out others to keep the tale interesting. Drew's storyline may have just concluded, with no immediate plans for his return. Alternatively, his departure could be due to behind-the-scenes considerations like actor availability or creative decisions. Cameron Matheson, who took over the part in 2021, has been a vibrant presence. However, performers frequently go on to new projects, resulting in character exits. Another factor to consider is how Drew's departure may affect the other characters in Port Charles. Drew has had various connections over the years, including Sam McCall, Elizabeth Weber, and his brother Jason. His absence will surely cause ripples throughout the series, potentially resulting in new conflicts or emotional arcs for those left behind. Will Sam move on with her life? Or will Drew's influence linger in her relationships? How will Jason respond to his brother's departure, given their difficult relationship? These questions add dimensions to Drew's departure, elevating it above a simple leaving. Death is seldom permanent. Characters considered dead frequently return, whether through complicated reasons such as amnesia, secret twin siblings, or even supernatural twists. If Drew's leave is portrayed as a death, people would undoubtedly speculate on his future comeback. Even if the show asserts that he's doner than done, viewers know not to take such claims at its value.